Hello, welcome to week 3. I cannot believe it's week 3 already. This time is going way too fast. Anyways, here we are, and here is just an overview of our assignments. So we'll start with the discussion posting of the course textbook reading on the convergence chapter. So I would say that I'm really enjoying your discussion posts, and I really appreciate the way you are able to connect the points in the textbook to your real life experiences and sharing so honestly. Thank you for doing that. I do understand for the some of you who do not appreciate Will's humor. I do not appreciate it either, but he does bring up good points about the real workplace. And as we get into the virtual collaboration space, that those are the kind of people we have to deal with, unfortunately. But he also brings up a big point that even though as we're reading now, the course is a bit old, it's 2008, the technologies are old, and some of them non-existent, is that it's a realization to us that collaborative computing or virtual collaboration, the goal is not the technologies used. The goal is collaboration of humans using technologies as our means to our end. And I hope that point comes across clearer as we go through the 6 C's and seeing that technologies are just a really small part of virtual collaboration. So our next part is the activity. We are going to be diving into digital storytelling, which is the big part of our comprehensive project. So I hope this activity, as you do these Linda courses, will help you expose you more into digital storytelling and just give you a framework of what is expected of this assignment. And then once you've completed those 2 courses, post your screenshots on your SharePoint site in the Linda screenshots folder. So the comprehensive project, once you finish the activity, is to write a synopsis of your digital story. So here are just 2 YouTube videos that kind of give you a context of what that should look like and what is entailed in that. So as you're thinking of your topic and what to write, this helps you to start really pulling out what exactly is the story you want to tell. The other part of the comprehensive project is in response to your introductions and your expectations of this course and saying that you would like to learn more about SharePoint and Microsoft Teams. So every week, even though it doesn't show on the syllabus, is I'll be adding a little bit of an assignment that would help you start exploring SharePoint and Teams. And this week we are going to be using shared team calendar as our learning point. So there are 2 parts to this. One is creating a shared team calendar. So in your team, individually create a calendar in your own site and then share that calendar link with your teammates, and each teammate to add those links into their own calendars. And I have added a link here that a resource link that gives you an example. And this is just a reference point. There are so many resources out there. If this doesn't make sense to you, keep digging to find what is expected. And then once you have linked your SharePoint calendar to your team's SharePoint calendars, one team member can take their calendar and link it to Microsoft Teams. So once you have that calendar in Teams, whatever you adjust on your SharePoint should reflect on the calendar on Microsoft Teams. And here is, of course, another resource. And please explore us more, ask questions. If this doesn't make sense, please use the Microsoft Teams class site as a discussion point for sharing what you find, sharing resources, and also asking questions. So again, week 3, schedule a team Skype call. Skype has been a hiccup. I'm still working with AS 5000 to kind of figure that out. But yesterday we already had a team meeting and it went okay. Well, so as long as when you schedule an appointment with me on my calendar, make sure to add a Skype meeting as a feature so that we can all use the link. And then reflections. I have not gone through reflections for week 2 because it's not Friday yet or Sunday, but reflections for week 1 were very, very helpful in honestly expressing your frustrations and what wasn't working for you, and that helps me to then tailor course our assignments as we move forward. So be as honest and as open as you can. I am not a possessive of this course. This is not about my learning, it's about your learning. And I want your experience to be as meaningful as possible. So the more you inform me, the more I can support you in your journey. And then, of course, there is extra credit. So extra credit, the very good question from Blake that if you take an extra credit course in Linda or Salesforce that is 2 hours long plus, what does that count for 2 extra credit points? And the answer is yes. So then how will that work? So if you decide to post on D2Well, so we have our discussions, for example, and you'll be, sorry, making you dizzy. If you go down week 3, let's say, for example, you do an extra credit point that is 2 hours long. So that would count for week 3 and week 4 extra credit. But when you post the screenshot or the link for Salesforce, just put it on week 3. Do not post it, do not duplicate in week 4. Because when I'm grading in week 3 and I see a 2-hour course, I will add the points to week 3 and week 4. I hope that's clear. If there are any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And then for the graduate students, we are having our thesis proposal outline due. So submit your thesis proposal outline in Microsoft Teams. How I would advise is if in Microsoft Teams you can either have a file and upload it in files. Up here, upload your file, or you can add note tab or notebook. Sorry, you can add notebook and post there. I would probably prefer using files so that we can all look at them and share what you have posted. So, and here is a resource of what a thesis proposal should look like. So I hope that covers the expectation of this course. As always, if you have questions, post on Microsoft Teams, ask your peers, and definitely ask me. Thank you.